everybody, and welcome to Rough Stuff. My name is Bridgett Greenberg, and there are several people in my life who call me Bethany, and I have never corrected them, and
Yikes.
it's too late now.
You don't look like a Bethany, though.
No, not my thing, but it's gone on too long, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
That's true.
Here with me, as always, is my co-host and friend.
I'm Sarah Griffith, and I saw Gotti in theaters.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And with us today in the hot seat is a comedian and writer and podcast host for Lady to Lady, Brandie Posey.
Hello. I had a different embarrassing fact, but I also saw Gotti in theaters.
Nice.
Twice.
What back?
One on MoviePass, and then I paid for it.
No.
You gotta
You gotta get that money. Yeah.
It's the last movie I saw on MoviePass, I think.
It broke MoviePass.
Yeah.
It was a distributor of it. For those listening that have not seen Gotti, run, do not walk.
Away from that movie.
I'm obsessed with it. There's 27 executive producers, MoviePass.
Yes.
They could not get this thing made. E from Entourage is the director of it.
Yeah.
John Travolta as John Gotti. That turns out it's a pro-John Gotti movie.
Yes.
Well, yeah, he needs to turn around his narrative.
It literally,
Yeah.
I mean, we can do a whole episode about this, but it literally starts with him looking at the camera and saying close to, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
Yeah.
Like, it is
New
quite
York, what a
literal.
town.
Yeah. At one point, they're like, "You're going to own all 5 boroughs. The Bronx, Queens." I'm like, we're not actually going to list the boroughs of New York right
They
now.
listed the whole thing. Also in the opening, one of my favorite lines. So he breaks the fourth wall almost immediately.
Yes.
And he goes, "Some people die and some people go to prison. To me, I did both." And it's like, oh, you died in prison.
Yeah.
Is
Cool
that what you-
story. Weird flex,
We're
but
bragging
okay.
about that?
Oh,
Okay.
the Teflon Don. Yeah, if you have a chance to go see Gotti, man, you got to see
Sounds
this
like a
movie.
masterpiece. You
I
know?
mean, honestly, I had like a screening at my house when it came out. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen
Are
it
you a
3
big
times.
Gotti fan?
I love a bad movie. It is
It is the perfect, bad
Perfect.
movie.
Yeah.
Because my friend and I, we got drinks beforehand, and so
Yeah.
we knew, getting into, what we were getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had, a goddamn blast. And I think, 90 minutes in the movie, I turned around and I was like, hey, quick question. What is this movie about? It is a
You don't
Wikipedia
know.
page,
Yes.
on screen.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. And then at the end, they have the audacity to show you what the real people look like.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, so the guy playing his son has a six-pack and is 20 years younger than his son?
Oh, yeah.
It's egregious.
What a film. All right. Well, I'm sold.
Brought to you by Gotti, RIP MoviePass.
Wait,
This week's
MoviePass
episode.
produced Gotti? We're
distributed.
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 Yeah. No, literally, this
Yeah.
is the movie that ruined MoviePass.
Yeah, I killed him.
Yeah.
Well, that, I mean,
Yeah.
Because they did American Animals, which actually
Yeah.
was a pretty good
That was a
film.
good
Yeah, fine.
And then they did Gotti, and they put in $100 billion into
So
this
much money,
goddamn John Gotti film, and
I mean, bless MoviePass. Just like that's 6 months where we're all just riding the lightning as hard as possible.
I knew it was too good to be true, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ride this wave
yeah.
all the way into shore, and when
Yeah.
it crashes, I'll just
Yeah.
get off.
Oh,
It's
no.
fine.
Exactly. I remember just being like, you know what? It's Tuesday. I'm going to go see Ferdinand. Who cares?
who cares?
I can right now.
I
The
already
number of
paid
movies
for it.
I saw on fucking MoviePass, just
Yeah.
garbage. I was like, whatever, I can kill
Yeah.
some
Oh,
time.
yeah. I was also going to have a Regal theater by me, so I was getting the Regal Rewards points, doubling up.
Yeah.
Used my points for movie swag. Do I have a Sherlock Gnomes t-shirt
Oh no.
that I cut to a belly shirt? It's great.
You are lucky. That's how
Yeah.
you do it. You got to double up.
Yeah. I got my Sherlock Gnomes shirt. I got a Hurricane Heist wine glass.
Oh, that's good. That's a really
That's
good
a good
marketing.
Yeah.
A wine glass.
You can bring it into theaters and refill
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I've got
Like a souvenir, novelty thing.
and I've got a Tyler Perry's acrimony candle for my bathroom.
Wow.
It really went all in.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Oh, thank you, MoviePass.
Yeah.
MoviePass.com/rough stuff, 20% off. I'm kidding. They can't afford to sponsor anything.
Yeah, right. Oh no, they're
They're long gone.
Yeah, the CEO killed himself.
Really?
I mean, no, but probably.
But I
probably. I remember
mean, you
I
weren't surprised when
No,
you
I
heard
was like, oh my God, we've been making fun.
I quit. I tried to hold on for a few weeks after they started changing all the rules and stuff.
For
and
sure.
then they sent out an email that they were pretending that the CEO was a dog, and it was like, it's been a rough week.
Oh.
And it was full of all these dog puns, and I was like, someone's gonna die, and I'm gonna have blood on my hands. I gotta get out of here.
We are clearly all like, this is a front, and we clearly all bought into some scheme.
Yeah, I mean, bless it.
God, I want to make that documentary so
I was
bad.
just going to say, because like the stories that are coming out now about it are like they were like,
It was just a building on fire, and people just like running around like.
and then they would go outside the building and be like, it's fine, we're not on fire. Also, we are making $100 gazillion. Everyone keep investing in this.
Yeah.
And then just like,
How? Yeah, it's the Fire Fest of apps.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly beautiful.
but I took advantage of that.
Oh, same.
Oh,
Felt
we all
great.
Jesus
did.
Christ.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been our Movie Pass podcast. Thanks so much for listening.
I mean, we should have the CEO of MoviePass on Rough Stuff. I'm sure he's got
Yes.
quite a few stories
He's
to
got
tell
some
us.
stories.
He absolutely does.
He's still coming down off a like 3-year
Yeah.
cocaine bender, so we got
For sure. Yeah, that man's been in a padded room for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone just woke up one day. They was like, "Guys, what the fuck
What
are we doing?
happened?
Like, there's no way we're making money on $10 a month, unlimited movies. Like, a ticket for a movie is minimum $12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a cheap movie.
It's a very cheap movie, yeah.
Anyway,
Beautiful. Yeah.
let's bring it back.
Other embarrassing shit people have done. Hey.
Yeah, other than Movie Pass.
You know, we embarrass ourselves all the time. Let's embarrass other
They're
people,
people.
every now
Yeah,
and then.
CEO
Yeah.
of Movie Pass, it's your turn. You fucking idiot.
But if you're listening to this and you want to be on an episode, oh my God, please reach out to us. We would love it.
Absolutely.
We would love to hear from you. But let's talk about you.
yeah.
I feel like you've deflected.
Oh yeah. Did you feel that coming in? Did you feel that was my my podcasterness? I was like, oh cool, we're gonna talk about me and my stuff where I'm not in
No,
control.
yeah.
What if? Ooh, we'll just move over here.
Movie Pass. You guys remember that?
I don't know why you asked me to do this podcast because I'm very cool and
Yeah.
I've never
I
done
mean,
anything embarrassing.
Well, we are too. Just
We
to
are
be
too.
clear.
Yeah, this is
It's anthropological for you guys, right? Is that the
Yeah.
right word? Did I embarrass myself by saying the wrong word? Anthropological?
I'm gonna.
The two anthropologists who are
Yeah.
listening to this are going to write in, but I
Yeah.
think you're fine.
I,
I also
The
struggled to
anthrop-
find the word anthropologist.
so,
It takes a second.
it's
Yeah.
a store.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a
Exactly.
store.
That's how you know I'm cool. I'm just only wearing anthropology clothes.
$100 white T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. But yeah, what? Let's take it back. What were
Yeah.
you like? Like where would you say your like most awkward years landed? What
Well-
age range are we talking about?
So I can almost pinpoint this exactly because so I have one of those. My dad has one of those frames that is like every one of your photos as you
Yikes.
go around.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're seeing your photo
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
middle.
okay, yeah.
And
So Wheel of Pain.
when he put it all together, he showed it to me, and this will tell you why I'm a comedian. He goes, "Hi, you're a real cute kid. You had a couple of rough years, but you turned out okay."
Yeah,
Oh, man.
where on the wheel? Like at like 6 o'clock, you know, it starts turning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was more like somewhere between like I don't know, like I mean, the middle school years I think are always like everyone's
Yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
roughest, but like towards I mean, my 4th grade photo is hilarious because I like don't know why. I feel like I like did not take a shower for a week because I've got the greasiest hair. My bangs are like to the side.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just
And I'm like wearing a
Like-
white t-shirt with like a denim button up on top of it. I just like look like I don't know, like it's rough. It's like a weird like a kind of like a weird dude. I was like, what's happening here? I don't understand.
yeah. What was? I'm trying to picture the vibe you were going for.
I do not know. I think professional douchebag. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
just like
great.
very weird. I don't know. Like kind of like a
like
little
club
bit.
promoter.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, and like the slicked back bangs to the side, it was like a weird, I've never done that before
Yeah,
or
if you
since
don't,
in
if
my
you don't
life.
have shitty bangs at some point in your life, are you
Yeah.
really living?
But I also will say I am a person that for some reason when I'm going to like an event that matters, that 5 minutes before I leave will be when I'm like, oh, let's figure out a cat eye right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
always.
Yeah, I just like this well of confidence that I get before
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, well, I'm gonna figure this hair thing out
Yeah.
that I've looked at now, but I should be in the car.
Yeah, well, I
Right.
feel like it's a pinnacle thing because you are getting ready, and then you look the best you're gonna look.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, I look pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
to
Yeah.
up the ante here.
Let's just work
And
towards
then-
the sun, Icarus.
Right.
Let's do this.
And
Right,
you
exactly.
the wings start melting.
It's kind of like
as you try like an exaggerated wing on your eyeliner. And
yeah.
you're like,
right.
"Well,
It's kind of like when you draw something and you're like, hey, this actually looks pretty cool. It's like, but you know what? I could probably do more.
Yeah.
And then it's like you ruin it.
Absolutely.
I do that all the time. Makeup especially too. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I need like 40 pounds of blush on
Oh, yeah.
right now. That would really put this whole thing together.
I've got a lot of very brightly colored eyeshadows that I don't ever actually wear, except when I should go somewhere important where
Yeah.
I shouldn't wear them. And then I'm just like, but what if just green?
yeah, I feel like my makeup style is distinctly me recovering from mistakes I had made.
Yeah.
It's me just backtracking my own humor. It's the only, like, it's just a lot of Q-tip swipe aways.
For sure,
Yeah.
sure. Oh man. Yeah, I mean I was like a pretty it's interesting because like I was never like I always had friends. I was never I was never like a popular kid, but I
Right.
was always like everyone liked me. It was like
Yeah,
the,
you
brag.
floated in the middle.
yeah. I was like marching band president, no big deal.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoa. What'd you play?
Whoa.
French horn because
That's a good one.
I wanted to play drums and my dad was like,
Of course.
absolutely.
Yeah. Smart.
I'm not
yeah.
but I will say if I was a female drummer now, I'd be a billionaire.
Yeah.
like
Very
a
true.
good, cute female drummer.
Yeah, there are like 3 of those.
Yeah, and like you clean up forever.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Dad. Thanks,
Yeah.
appreciate it. I know you listen to all my podcast appearances. No, he doesn't. Although one time he was listening to my podcast on the couch next to me with headphones on.
Oh.
I
Oh my
said,
God.
we were like on vacation in Florida. I was like, "What are you doing over there?" He's like, "Listening to your podcast," and I was like, "I want to die."
Yeah, it's like, oh, I was looking at you and I realized I don't know any of your work. So let me go
Oh,
through
God.
now.
I would lift off the ground
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
like burst through the ceiling like a rocket.
It was not a great situation.
Yeah, last Thanksgiving, my parents played for everyone a video that I was in, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta catch a flight back to LA and never come back
Yeah,
here.
that's been my time. I've been Bridget Greenberg, your relative. Have a good one, everyone.
I will never see any of you again.
It's a wrap on me.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
yeah.
so where in the spectrum? You were marching band president, but
marching
still
band-
cool.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, so I wanted to play the drums, but
Yeah.
then my dad said no. So then I was like, which instrument is the wolf in Peter and the Wolf?
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Because I've never been good at being a girl.
Peter and the Wolf.
My dad was
Wow.
like, "Do you want to play like the flute or something?" I was like, "No, give me that wolf."
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
wolf sound.
And I mean, like, I was also, I mean, like, I don't know. My interests are always so weird because I'm just like, I don't know. I think I was like a weird Norse god nerd in a former life or something. There's something like that's my energy, even though I don't
It's-
know shit about it now. Where it's like, I don't know. I love wolves. I love like lightning, like the idea of fire. Just
Yeah.
like it just like makes me happy.
Hey, it's
Very
never
cool,
too
very
late
cool.
to like
Yeah, yeah.
dive into
yeah, for sure.
a thing. You know?
I mean, like, I was so resentful of my friends that started watching live action TV. I was like, but Gargoyles is on. Why aren't we all just watching
my God,
Gargoyles all the time?
Gargoyles.
Why are we watching 90210? Who gives a shit? This fucking Gargoyles are
Right.
saving Manhattan.
Right.
Here's the thing, from what I understand, it sounds like you were a nerd and you're still.
Yeah, I'm like very nerd. I'm very nerdy. I wear it well. Is the
Yes,
thing.
yeah, you just like let it run off you and be like, you know what, I can still have friends, and good
Yeah,
for you.
exactly.
It's the confidence that really barreled through.
By the end of this podcast, I will have not deflected once. So it's exciting. Yeah, no, I'm like super nerdy. I mean, it's like I remember like TNG. My fact at the beginning of this was going to be that every trailer for the new Star Trek Picard TV show has made me cry.
Yeah.
Every time
Okay.
I just see it, I'm just like,
So you were deep into that.
yeah. Huge Star Trek fan. Love it. Still is like, I mean, I wrote my college essay about Star Trek Next Generation.
Wow.
Yeah, I credit Jean-Luc Picard and Spock for like kind of my moral compass more than anything else in my life.
I mean, if you're going to base a moral compass on any
Yeah.
fictional characters, I think that's
mean,
a good place
yeah,
to...
they're like good men.
Yeah.
It's always funny when I date somebody new because I'm just like, Jean-Luc Picard is the standard that I hold all men to. And they're always like, oh,
That's too
God.
high. That's too
a
high of a
lot.
standard.
Yes.
That's too high.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a lot. It's a lot to date me, guys.
Yeah, that's
Fellas.
perfect.
yeah.
A captain of the ship with a notoriously perfect moral compass.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But I mean, like, yeah. When I was a kid, I think like So like outwardly I was like nerdy, but like also just was like always I've never been one for like guilty pleasures or like feeling shame about that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like I'm not good at that. I'm just like, no, that's what I like. And I can always run a circle around somebody to defend it harder than they can roast it.
Right.
Is
Yes.
like kind of how I feel.
That's a good. So how were you like outwardly a fan of these? Like, was that
Yeah.
part of your identity
For
growing
sure.
up?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that you were just
in-
like a super fan of?
I mean, in elementary school, this is an embarrassing thing. I so there's this big oak tree in the recess ground that I called when I was in second or third grade. It was the Enterprise, and I was Picard, so I became the thing that I wanted to be.
Of course, yeah.
And what I would bully kids into doing away missions for me at recess.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Where I'd be like, go in the woods. I need 15 acorns. Like that's what I would do. I would just like
You never give them shore leave. They were
no,
just always
no,
on
no,
that.
no. Well, you can't go to Risa. You're a kid, man.
Right.
You gotta put in your dues. Yeah, you gotta work.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like, and it was always, I was always like, the cool kids like liked me because I was funny,
Right.
and then I was like the queen of the nerds, kind of in between, where they were like, oh, Brandie can like. The word is not code switch for this, but it's the adjacent version of that without the racial component.
Yeah. You contain multitudes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. I am Zool.
So then, like switching back and forth between like
Yeah.
your cool friends, did
Yeah.
that ever like the nerd side ever have to come out, or was that like hidden away, or
I mean,
were you just didn't give a fuck?
I kind of just didn't give a fuck. Give a freak.
No, you're
Oh, you're
fine.
checking your
You're
phone.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you
Okay,
can
yeah,
swear
okay, got it, got it,
motherfucking storm
got
on
it.
this
Just-
goddamn
yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, no, I kind of just didn't care. Like, I was always, my grandmother was my best friend growing up, and she was very, very beat of her own drum. Like, I remember her telling me stories about how, like, her younger brother had like an enlarged heart and couldn't go to school and he was like bedridden, so she would like
Wow.
come home and from school and like take him outside and like teach him what she had learned in school on the porch. But all like the neighborhood kids would come and just like, oh, that kid that nobody knows it,
Yeah.
and they'd throw
Right.
rocks at him, and she would like beat the fuck out of these kids.
Nice.
Oh.
So I remember her, like, she would like tell me stories like that. And, like that was like, yeah, no, that's like what you do. It's like more of that like weird morality where it's like, no, I righteously believe that I'm correct to my core, and it's like sometimes a problem.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be an issue. Sometimes I'm like, you could let some things go, Brandie.
Yeah. Not when you're a nerd though.
No.
Because I go to bat for
Yeah.
my not even guilty pleasure. It's just like my outward pleasures.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the other end of the spectrum, I'm really big into Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I also love Star Trek too.
I mean,
I think that
Star Wars
binary
is great.
doesn't.
No, I don't think it exists.
The Venn diagram of the
Yeah.
two of them, and then I always joke that like J.J. Abrams called for like a ceasefire, and
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, there's peace between the kingdoms.
Yes, exactly.
But like I literally have a group chat and like friends who I consider like these are my Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
friends. So like I don't talk Bridget's fucking ear off about Star Wars. Like I have like
I've got my people.
I've got like an outlet where I can just be like, oh my god, did you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
see the new?
Not that I'm
for
not
sure.
a Star Wars fan, but Sarah has gotten mad at me for trying to talk about
No,
Star Wars.
literally, we drove to Vegas like a couple weekends ago, and like we kind of got on the topic, and like Bridget was like going on about like. I think we started getting into like Joseph Campbell, and you started to like get into
Like
it.
cool
and,
kids, you
and
know?
I was like breaking out a flop sweat. I was like, Bridget, we have like 3 more hours in a car. Is this really what you want to get into? Like,
I was
like,
trying to relate to a friend. And
I was like turning into a werewolf driving like, listen, I want to be cool because we're going to Vegas and we're like, cool, like this is a fun weekend for us. If you talk about this shit, I will go
That's
off
amazing.
until we get there and
Yeah.
you will want to drop and roll out of this car so fast.
just 2 cool young 20-somethings going to party in
Yeah,
Vegas
baby.
and talking about Joseph Campbell and Star Wars.
Actually, the very first time I went to Vegas was right after The Force Awakens came
Oh,
out.
man.
And spoiler alert for the film in case you haven't seen it, but I did pour one out for Han Solo. I was like, this is for my man.
Yes. got to.
Got to let it go.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But you do need like your outlet to like. I need to
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
express all of the
For
crazy
sure.
things that I am like hyper fixated on. I've like full blown disassociated for like 2 hours. I'm like,
Yeah.
now I need to tell someone. But it's definitely
Yeah.
like I have the designated
people.
people
Yes.
who will absorb this information and not think of it differently.
Yeah. Well, I'm like a massive ska fan, and like I kind of like that's what I have for ska, because it's like you can't. There's an embarrassing thing. It's 2019,
and you're still
I was
still going hard.
I was in a documentary about ska this year.
Whoa.
I am the only fan in the documentary.
Wow, is that a movie pass?
It's I mean it's gonna be like Netflix and Amazon soon, but it's called Pick It Up.
Nice.
Story of ska in the 90s, and it's all these members and all these bands that I like love and like I'm like kind of friendly with, and then I am literally the only fan in the movie. I remember going to the premiere in Newport Beach and was just like,
of course, in Newport
that
Beach.
was so cool. Yeah,
of course,
very ska,
got
yeah.
to. I mean, I'm literally wearing checkered Vans right now.
Yeah.
But I got the comfy ones now because I'm in my
The comfy
30s.
good, yeah. You got to do that like kick step in comfort now. You can't be
Exactly.
Yeah.
Skanking, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I was skanking the other night. I went to a cover band thing, and there was oh man, there was like it's called Bring Your Own Band, and it's like they do like a bunch of comedians just like bring cover bands, their tribute bands, and there was a couple people doing Rancid, and I was like, I haven't danced to Rancid in forever, and I was just like,
it's been too long,
skank it out, and I was like, oh, I gotta start running more or something.
It's tiring.
Ooh, yeah, it takes it out of you, and I'm just like, oh, this is why I was so skinny, because when I had time to go to concerts all the time, this is like what happened.
Well, especially this guy, they're like all outdoors, and you know.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you lose like 5 pounds in sweat alone.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Florida, we had Sunfest, and that was a big, that was just all boat rock.
Totally. Well, it's like ska in general is the marching band kid trying to justify listening to punk. Like that is the Venn diagram middle.
Well, the French horn, you sound ready to be in a ska band, honestly.
Oh, God,
the dream.
Insane that I've never been in a band, honestly.
Yeah.
I just like, I wanted to play guitar really bad as a kid too, but my dad was like, you have an instrument, you can't get another one. And then I just like,
just shut it down.
Yeah. And like when I finally had money to like buy one for myself, I just was too busy with like comedy and film and stuff. And I'm always like, okay, one of these years I'm gonna get it, and it's gonna start, and I'll never be good at it because I'm too old to actually get good at it. But I'll know 15 chords.
Yes, that's all you need. That's about the time I learned to play guitar, and I am the most annoying guitar douche in the world. And it's my favorite thing in the world.
That's
it's
like,
beautiful.
awesome.
Bridget whips it out like fucking Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, and we'll just play for the children.
That rules.
It's, the only time I have played guitar for other people is when everyone was too high to know what was going on. And everybody else was too high to remember if I was good at it or not.
I have nothing to say to that.
I got a couple of secret guitar friends like that. I'm just like, oh, I think you like secretly shred, and then like you're like, wait, you play guitar? Like, no, all the time at home by myself.
Yeah, no one's ever gonna hear it except for like my neighbors through a wall. Like,
it is like a dream of mine. I play piano, and I bought myself a little keyboard, and I kind of like tinker on it. It's like my dream. Like my friends and I like walk into like a hotel lobby or something, and there's a piano. I'm like, oh, might as well just sit down a little bit and play like Benny and the Jets, or like some song that like everybody can get really like
that
into.
Would be.
And then someone stands from the crowd and like, Sarah Griffith, I'm a record producer.
Oh, excuse me, miss. I've never seen anybody play Elton John like that before.
Including Elton John.
Including Elton John. I am Elton John.
I'd like to sing with you. Would you just play piano for me?
Oh my God. No, the number of times I have dreamed about just like, this is like always a joke that like when my friends and I would go to see like a play or like a musical that we loved and like we knew about, like we would always make this joke about like, excuse me, everybody, the person playing this role tonight is sick. Is there anybody in the audience who knows this role? Can anybody do this? It's like, I can, mister. And like,
spotlight comes down.
Exactly. What's the Lady Gaga thing? There's 99 people in the room. Like, I'm the one that's like, yes, I can be Venla in Spring Awakening right now.
You are Allie, getting pulled from the crowd.
Exactly.
Do you ever break out the French horn?
Oh yeah, I still have it. I'll never
hot cross buns it. Just
I like run scales like probably once every month and a half just to be like, can I still do this? And I'm like, my embouchure is still there, but my tone is shit. But it wouldn't take long to get it back if I needed to. Like, I really do think that like in my 40s, like once I'm on the road all the time now, but I'm like, okay, if I could like be here more, I would join a community orchestra in a heartbeat.
Oh,
wow, that's cool.
Because I like being queen of the fucking nerds.
You gotta rule somewhere, you know.
I would love that. I mean, I used to be like, I mean, I was in like I did all the all-county bands, like the all-state bands. I was in like Navy side-by-side because I'm from Maryland. So like the Naval Academy is right there. And I had a massive crush. Tony Valerio, if you're listening. He was
Hit me up.
yeah, he's French horn number 2 in the Naval Academy band. Real hottie.
Oh, yeah, that seems like, playing next to a Navy Academy.
Sorry,
as a teen.
Was he just so hot you looked in the program and learned his name? Like, how do you...
I mean, he was like always, whenever he'd audition for all counties and stuff, like they usually would get the Navy people to come in and do the auditions. So you'd be like, oh, hey, Tony, how you doing? Like, I just knew him over the years.
And whipped out, like, listen to this sick French horn riff.
Well, and check this out. He was also part of a brass quartet that played at our Renaissance Festival. And that is always the weekend that I went because he was wearing tights.
Wow. He sounds like he's king of the nerds. Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you a photo. Tony Valerio is pretty fucking hot.
I believe it.
He's like not my type at all. It's so funny. This like military man, but I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's like the opposite of the tattoo guy that usually fucks me up.
Yeah.
This guy, this is safe.
Oh, looking back on the crushes I had as a kid is truly insane. Like, it's just like the skinniest, blondest boy there is with the floppiest hair. And I'm like, really?
I feel like you have like your lineup of the crushes, and then you have like one or two that are just like hard left somewhere else. It's like, I don't know how you've wound up here, but
for sure,
I'm into it. I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I feel like there was always a crush where just like someone was like, oh yeah, he's cute. And then I was like, is he? And then I just stared at him for like, until and it's like, yep.
Do we like that? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's always funny too. I don't know if you've ever done this where you look back at like pictures of like boyfriends or like, or, you know, whatever from high school and be like, oh, that child ruined my life.
Yeah.
That one? Yeah.
Just like as an adult now, just be like, used to fuck that kid.
Yeah.
Is it a weird thought? I don't know. I think that it makes me laugh.
No, I mean, on a
When
weird
you were a
thought,
kid,
sometimes like I live by a school and it's like a high school. And so like I see a lot of like freshmen, especially like, you know how boys either look like they are 9 or 90? Like there's like such a hard.
You can't tell.
Yeah. And like, like not in a creepy way.
No, of course not.
But like sometimes I'll see a young man and I'll think like, God, I bet he is just killing in school right now. It's like, you look like the quintessential like beautiful 14-year-old boy. That like when I was your age.
Yeah, you would have stolen.
God, I sound
all the
so
hearts.
fucking old.
No, 100%. No,
but you like you see the young men out
I
and
know
about,
how
and it's
this
like,
plays
dude,
out.
I bet you're cleaning up so good at bar mitzvahs.
And then you post up and you're like, high five. Oh, I'm your mom. Okay,
right.
Awesome.
This is an embarrassing one. Very recently was at the movies and was like getting popcorn, and the cashier, I was just like making weird eye contact because I knew if I was 14 I would have such a crush on him.
I get uncomfortable. I get flushed.
I'm like, oh, these kids.
And my friend was like, what happened? That was like very weird. And I was like, I think like 14-year-old Bridgett just like punched her way out of my mouth and was like, you're cute. It's like, I am at least a decade older than that boy. But
yes, there are many times where I feel like I'm a little girl again, and sometimes you just see like a teen, like not even like a hot teen. Oh, God,
we're gonna get arrested.
This is gonna ruin my presidential campaign.
Age of Epstein.
But you know, but you see it. It's like, oh wow. Let me tell you, I bet you're wrecking high school right now.
We're like truly all becoming cougars in this moment.
In this moment,
Christ. But like, none of us are old enough to really be cougars.
No.
Yeah, and Trey, Cubs. We're Cubs.
No, but as someone who, just really did not come into my own until maybe deep college, seeing that boy now and being like feeling like I'm better than him, and I'm like, it just, there's something good about that, being able to recognize that, like,
for sure. Well, it's something fun about like having the power dynamic be so different now, to be like, oh,
true,
this person is still the same, but like I have changed. I understand now.
Although if they like came up to me, I would be and like talked to me, I would be very intimidated because I'm terrified of teenagers.
I mean, teens are terrifying.
They're scary.
They're very scary.
They've never not been scary. When you were young, they were scary because you're like, they're just walking in packs. What's happening?
Yeah,
they're at the park at 10 p.m. What's
I will move off a sidewalk for a group of teens.
And then you're like in your teens and you're just like, I'm out of my body. Everything's crazy. Is this what happens? It's just chaos for a decade. And then you're out of your teens and you're like, oh, those teens are younger and they're making fun of me. I think. Are they?
I was driving to work the other day. I would even say this is an embarrassing story, but I'm not embarrassed about it at all. And there's a few bus stops like on my route. And I was like at a stoplight. It was like 6:50 a.m. and I was blasting "It's All Coming Back to Me Now" by Celine
One
Dion.
of my favorite car songs.
I was like, I just like came on shuffle,
Baby,
and I was like,
baby.
yeah, like that opening is like, and I was like,
I'm
oh
hearing
bitch,
it.
this is what I'm listening to right now, and I was like jamming and like lip syncing to it, like just like so into it, and I turned and looked, and all the teens were like looking at me and laughing, and honestly, I looked right at them and I was like, listen, this is you 10 years from now.
Get ready
Laugh
for it,
while
baby.
you can.
this
One
right
day
here?
you will be an adult that's listening to Celine Dion on your way to work, bitch.
This is time traveling. I am your ghost of
You're looking-
Christmas
Exactly.
future.
You're
Get ready.
looking
Exactly.
at you. You
I like
laugh
turned it up and rolled the windows down too. I'm like, yeah, listen to Celine Dion,
I have-
16-year-olds.
I've made myself hoarse on the road, because that's one of my like, oh, I gotta wake up
Yeah.
because I got 2 more hours left to drive.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. We're just gonna blast It's All Coming Back to Me Now, and just top of our lungs through Omaha. It's gonna be
Yes.
great.
On repeat several times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is there something that like is there that memory now that like will wake you up in the middle of the night from like those middle school years that you're like, what?
So this is an interesting thing that I have, and I just found about this like last year. I have a thing called aphantasia, which is basically like my mind's eye is like blind, so my memory doesn't. I don't have a visual memory.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, like I don't like relive or like recall stuff like that. Like it's basically like my brain works the same,
Oh,
but
you're so lucky.
I know. I know. After just like, so there's a comic, Jeff Kunkel in Central Pennsylvania that has a joke about it, and like he was like telling this joke about it, and that's how I found out what it was, because he was just like, oh, his bit, and I like don't want to butcher it, but he has a bit basically about how he didn't realize that like the concept of a spank bank is like a literal thing that people have, and he's just like, you're not just using your imaginations. What's going on?
Yeah.
What you're just reliving shit. What's going on? And he was just like screaming about it, and I was like, wait, what's good? And I just like felt like the world changed, and I was like, do I have that?
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, so I don't like relive shit like that. I like my
So
my,
lucky.
my memory is like mostly like tied to like emotional cores basically though. So
Oh,
it's like
okay, yeah.
when I see somebody, I'm just like, what happens is I don't like think about like memories so much
Right.
as like this person makes me feel these things.
Wow.
And then I go, oh, because of like that, and it's like, but it's so the
Yeah.
order is kind of like flopped.
So is your memory kind of like reading a Wikipedia page? Like
Yes,
you just
very much so.
Yeah, it's just kind of the facts.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of like a lot of what it is.
That's it. So if
I've
you
forgotten so many things that I'm embarrassed of. It's like a very chill 51st dates situation.
Yeah.
I remember like the emotional core of things, but like the specifics, and like there's some specifics that I can pull because I'm like, oh, that moment reminds me of this, and smell like pulls things more.
Yeah.
But it's still it's always the emotional resonance versus like reliving a memory of some
so
kind.
when
Yeah,
so if you go back home to Maryland and like run into someone from your past,
yeah.
is there a weird just like
Yeah.
there's a cat butt
Yeah, it's a
on
big
the
old
table?
cat
There's
butt.
a big old cat butt
That's
on the
okay. It's a
table.
beautiful cat.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes me a minute. Like I'm
Yeah.
not face blind, but it
Yeah.
does. You know what it is. You know what it is. It's like I'm like, oh, I feel this way about this face. Why do I feel that way about this
Right.
face? Like
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
So
Where I'm
that-
like,
yeah.
ooh, I know you for some reason, and you make
And-
me feel this way.
Yeah.
I don't, and it
Yeah.
takes me a minute. It takes me a while to like place people sometimes.
Wow. God,
Which
if
is
I were
great
you,
for
I would go
comedy.
on a first
Yeah.
date every single day. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there are definitely people from my past. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I go back home to Florida, that I will run into and just be like, I can't.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no matter, I could be a billionaire and still run into them, and then immediately just see them and
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh, I'm a child and I'm
Yeah.
afraid of you. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter where I get in this world, that
Right.
I will run into those
Totally.
people and still feel that way.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I have no idea why.
yeah. I mean, I think like the moments that are like the most embarrassing to me are the moments that I like didn't. This is one. Like I was never good at like. I had like girly girl friends. I've never been that person.
Yeah.
And it's no problem if you are that person. Totally. But sleepovers have always like felt very embarrassing to
yeah.
me. Where it's like whenever we play like Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board or like Truth or Dare, I've always hated it. Like games make me feel like I'm dying. I just really like. There's something about like the
Non-competitive games or just like those sleepover,
just
all of them.
all games.
Okay.
Like because it's like if we're having like I like having conversations with people,
Right.
But if like you introduce this element that is like a false way to get to force getting to know each other,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's when I'm just like, what are we doing? Everything's a lie. Just like
So,
ask me
yeah.
what you want to ask me and stop your tricks.
You should
Yeah.
go. You should do corporate retreats.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it's like why it's like why I can't do improv because
Yeah.
like the improv warm ups.
Oh, it's just games.
truly like upset me so badly.
Yeah.
I remember like having to do a show. Man, I did a show a couple years ago where like the format was like a stand-up doing 10 minutes and then an improv troupe doing based on the stand-up and
Yeah.
they repeat. But they wanted the comedians, the stand-ups to jump in with the improv troupe, so they made us warm up with them backstage. And we played this game called 5 Things. And 5 Things is like, we like, give me 5 funny names for candy bars. You just have to
Okay,
come up
yeah.
with 5 like blah, 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 or whatever. Like, and then and everyone counts off 5 things. And
Yeah.
then that person
Right.
comes up with a category for the next person. And I got like 5 reasons you eat ice cream. And I just went, thinking about my dead mom, thinking about my dog dying. And I just couldn't stop listing things in my life
Yeah.
that I loved dying. And I was like, well, I'm a stand-up.
Yeah.
Don't put me on the spot.
I was like, I don't know how to, I broke the game. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Every improv game I have ever played has been played begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Like it is like, okay, you guys are gonna do this. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
And it's just like that and it's so funny because it's like I'm like a deeply empathetic person, so I think there's so much embarrassment I have is like secondhand embarrassing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe the worst form of embarrassment,
Whoa.
actually.
Like I'm just like so I've spent so much time as just like a peacekeeper trying to be like, look over here instead though, because we need to stop looking at that.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yeah,
the couple times I've tried to be an improviser and have taken classes and it's that warm up, I've had that same thing where like you're just walking around and letting your body do whatever, and I'm like, oh god, this is so embarrassing for everyone.
Viewpoints is a nightmare.
I always
do
have that moment in why I'm not an actor. Is I
Yeah.
always have that moment where I just like look around and I'm like, I hate this. I hate what everyone's doing.
Absolutely.
And it's a deep sense of shame, I think, is what it is. It's just,
So it's like sleepover games made me feel that way too, because I just kept
Yeah.
feeling like I was a fraud at these things.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I'm not interested in doing this, but societally I need to be here because I can't. And like I've always had girlfriends and guy friends. In high school I had like my core group of girlfriends, but then I had way more dude friends that I was just like good friends with. And like I was always like, their sleepovers sound fun. They're just beating the shit out of each other.
you guys want to beat the shit out of each other?
I like wrestle with my guy friends because like I came of age during Jackass, so it was just
Yeah.
like we would just like our shit was like the second that we could learn, like people started getting cars, we'd be like, all right, cool, let's hogtie Tim and put him in the car, and then we'll like release him in front of one of the restaurants, and he'll just like with our friend Tim, we would dress him up in like his like boxers with like rope around his wrist, and we'd pull him in front of like Bill Bateman's Bistro, and we'd like pop the trunk, and he would just like jump out and like bang on the window in his underwear.
Oh my God.
We'd be like, get back in the car. We drive him away, and like we didn't do that at girl sleepovers.
No.
Yeah, I would say that'd be a different experience at a girl sleepover if you did that.
very much so.
The police would be called.
Yeah, exactly.
No
I'd be
question.
very concerned.
Yeah, and I just like those are my most embarrassing moments is trying to figure out how to be the girl that society like wanted me to be.
For sure.
I definitely relate because I was a big tomboy growing up, and again did not know how to use makeup. Until like I was 23 or something. I didn't like truly
Long
figure
time.
it out.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I would guess for a while and be too embarrassed to ask anyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then finally grew up, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do at those sleepovers, people like, Bridgett doesn't wear makeup. And I was going to tell the story, but I was like, no, this is sad. This isn't funny.
We'll make it funny. We'll make it funny.
But now that you've brought it up, I remember that they were like, Bridgett doesn't know how to use makeup. Let's make her sit in a chair, tired of a chair, makeup on her.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't like this, you guys. But was just such a good sport. And too polite. If I am not polite, I might die, I think. So it's the only thing holding my anxiety together is my own sense of politeness.
Definitely.
But I was like, this is okay.
Yeah. Well, and like I remember, like I never had like a boy crazy phase. I had like a guy or two that I'd like a crush on, but it was like, and it was usually dudes that I was like friendly with, and like, but the girls that were like, I like all these fucking guys all the time. So you'd be these sleepovers, and they'd be like, do that. I don't even remember what it is now, where you like pretend like you're under a trance, and they're like, "Tell us who you like and what you want to do," and I'd be like, "Why would we talk about this?"
Yes.
Like
This is
those
embarrassing.
moments where I'm just like, I think I want to kiss that guy. Is that what you guys want to hear? Just try, and being so lost, like trying to figure out the thing that would get me out of this situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you like a late bloomer, or did you just not want to talk about it,
I just like didn't,
or didn't have the like words?
I think it was just like not the words, because it was like, I mean, I don't know. I always had guys that liked me. Even in college, when I looked like a militant lesbian because I wanted men to leave me alone. Yeah. Look, I had a real bad breakup my senior year of high school, and then 9/11 happened, so I just put on a lot of weight, and I cut my hair off, and I was like, men can't talk to me for a while.
A lot is going on.
Yeah. But then, like, I still would have, like, I still had, like, dudes that'd be like, oh, you're whatever. So it was just, like, that I didn't know how to navigate that attention in the way that, like, you know what it is? I thought the expectation was I needed to be feminine in a way that felt incorrect to who I was.
Yes.
Because that's like what was like societally like shown to me.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is like what the girlfriend is. This is how you're supposed to act. And I was like, but I don't know how to be that.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable to me.
So therefore I'm uncomfortable about all of it, because like there wasn't like the path to like being the girlfriend that I want to be the way that I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where so much of it I think came from, is like being like, I don't, you guys, this is what you guys do. Like, I don't care about going to dances. I'd rather just throw a party at my house.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, like I threw like an anti-Valentine's Day dance at my house because my like
very rock and roll.
Yeah,
Very
it was
ska.
cool. And we stole from like the Safeway like grocery store by our house. It was when Episode 1 came out, Star Wars.
Yes.
What's the big fat that guy?
Jabba's
like
Boss Nass.
Yeah, Boss Nass
of the Gungans.
Yes. There was like a giant cardboard cutout of him with like a Pepsi can or something.
Yes.
And we just
I have that in my house.
we stole it from Safeway. We like ran in, and that was our like photo booth, was like pictures with
that.
Oh wow, that is like such an image of 1999.
Oh yeah,
and they're probably like the
doubt.
disposable with the timestamp on it too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So like, so navigating that made it so difficult with like trying to be like a girl in the way that I felt like I was supposed to be versus like what in my heart I knew was not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole thing is very uncomfortable, because I remember like I feel like I was a similar way where I was I don't know what to do, but you're like, no one talked to me about it, so I just like figured it out just like much later. But yeah, I remember being at sleepovers and everyone being like, boys, let's all call a boy we like, and I just like ran out the door like Kool-Aid Man through, and was just like,
I'm still deeply humiliated to talk about like boys and stuff, because like I don't know, it's like I just feel like all my friends like want the best for me, but when they put all these expectations, like, so are you guys like talking or like just hook up? It's like I don't want to talk about like my fuck patterns. Like I don't need to. Yeah, just let me navigate this, and I'll let you know when we're engaged. Like I will.
Don't need you to graph my pussy. Like I understand. That's fine. Like I understand.
Like I understand this is fun for you, but this is humiliating for me.
I feel like that's also how you always get pulled in deep into like either like ska. Like I was super into sports. You got your weird Star Wars thing. I don't know who the fuck you are, but
you find the other thing that you're like, that's what we talk about.
And that's
like,
what we do.
I know we were talking about boys, but have you guys seen the new trailer for the new Star Wars movie? Like curtain closed, and I back out of the room.
Yeah,
and exactly.
Then, you do.
I'm just gonna go do my thing over here.
Because I feel like the memories, the good memories of high school and like that age that I have is just like everyone doing stupid shit. Like I remember. We would like penny each other's cars while driving.
Yes.
And that
penny
was like,
a car?
Oh, yeah. So if you throw pennies at a car, it dents the paint. And it's really fun.
How mad were everyone's parents?
So mad. They were not our cars. My parents leased our cars.
Oh, no.
I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Of course not.
Wait, penny a car?
Yeah, go outside. Go to my car right now. And just throw a penny
Bridgett,
and have a blast.
That's kind of you to think that I have pennies. Like, I'm an adult.
Okay.
That is the...
Richie Rich over here doesn't have pennies.
I only carry nickels. Wait, what the fuck is...
No, it's a blast. And we would
totally.
do it just driving around and just thought it was funny if you saw a friend's car, you threw a penny at it. Or whatever you can grab, really.
So you're just throwing shit at cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never heard of this. This is insane to me.
Yeah.
We had our friends. We had like, so there was this like Salvation Army in our town that had like a dumpster behind it, and like that dumpster was only for the Salvation Army, and like the turnover at that place was so fast because like there's so many people that live there that like things would be on the shelf for 3 weeks, then they'd be in the dumpster. And like weekends, it was like me and my friends like dumpster diving and being like, what's the weekend gonna hold this week?
Yeah.
And just whatever. And we had this box of wreaths that we found, like 50 wreaths.
That is disgusting.
Oh man! And we would wreath each other's cars. That was the thing.
Oh.
That was like someone, and then you would have the wreaths, and then like you'd be like, "When's it gonna strike somebody else?" And then you'd have to sneak out of your house because you couldn't tell your parents you were going out to wreath the car at 2 in the morning.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
because
yeah.
God
You
forbid.
guys have like such clever names for this shit. You're just throwing things at cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's clever. Whatever the item on the car is, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Penny a car,
I mean,
you
I
make
guess,
it.
yeah, you do egg a car. Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. It's silly. Like, that like.
I feel like that's just everyone deflecting how uncomfortable they are. Really, is just
Yeah.
like
Get your rage out by throwing
I'm
shit at
shit at
cars.
cars. Yeah.
Well, and I also did not understand how flirting worked. Like to me, like
Still no.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
still.
gonna say, when you figure that out, let me know.
I mean, my way, honestly, I think like I've always then like this is like I remember being like a pit kid and being like, I'm beating the shit out of these guys. Why don't any of them want to date me? Like, look how little I need you. Just dropping bows on people and be like, oh, is this not attractive?
This is
just
not-
like a woman filled with rage, just like a twirling dervish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I have like I'm not big on
Yeah.
touching. I
Yeah,
don't like I still am uncomfortable with like even like. That's weird. I put my hand on Sarah's shoulder and she freaked out because it's so weird for me to touch someone.
So bizarre.
And so I did not know. And I had like very girly girlfriends who were like, and I was like, that's flirting. Well, do you want to talk about NBA stats with me, boy? Is
Exactly.
that we can have a conversation that way?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
just
totally.
like, that's the only way I knew how to communicate with boys. And they were like,
I literally had a director tell me in a rehearsal when I was in college, because like the character I was playing was like very flirty with this other character. She was like, you know, like the way you flirt with someone, like, you know, you touch them and whatever. And that was the first, I think I was like 21 years old. I was like, oh,
Do you touch?
I should touch people that I care about. And I literally like,
good advice, director.
yeah, I was like, wow. Like, well, she was giving me a note for the play, like, oh, Sarah, you know how you touch people when you're flirting with them. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That's how I flirt for
I've
sure.
always done that.
And it's like I literally had to like, because I'm insane, I would like walk around campus and would like put my hands on my friend. Like I literally was like, I have to get used to touching people because I'm touching somebody in this play. Like I'm not kidding. It like course corrected years of not, because like I like similarly like in middle school, all my girls friends like wanted to hug me every time they saw me.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I just saw you last period. Like, this is not an occasion for, like, hugging.
Yeah.
Did
And
your
so
friends
I
link arms while they walked? Because that was a big thing, and I hated
No,
it.
we just kissed each other a lot.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. We just, like, full-blown made out. No.
Yeah.
But, it was, like, literally somebody told me out loud, like, yo, you know how you, like, touch people. And I was like, yes, I touch people, for sure.
I definitely
Let me practice that.
do that.
Yes, human contact is something I am familiar. Sarah learned how to be human through acting.
No, I'm, like, for real.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, boys, you got to wear hats.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
people can steal them.
Yes.
That's the only.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I need that moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny. I literally was just like, within the last month, I was like refinishing a dresser because I was like really mad at Twitter and I was like, I need to do something tactile. And I had this thing forever and I was just like posting updates and I was like, this is hot, right? Guys like that I'm just like redoing furniture. I'm just like, I'm a daddy, I think.
Yeah.
It's like that's who I am as a lady.
Yeah.
I feel like if you like as for like young girls who don't feel like who like traditional like girly girl stuff doesn't work for. Yeah. I feel like you always just like, well, I like when boys do this, so maybe I'll do it myself, and that will work.
I'll do the thing. Like it's like I mean like I used to have like this like I was in love with this like the lead singer Rubik Fish. I was like in love with him for years to the point that he has like this awesome pompadour, and I was like, I'm just gonna start wearing a pompadour, and I was like, oh, am I a narcissist, or is it just, I'm just like, that is attractive, therefore I will do the attractive way.
I was like, I like when guys play sports, so I will play sports.
Exactly.
And then I can be around them, and then they start like hitting me and I'm their bro, and I was like, oh,
I see what's happening.
I did the wrong thing.
I got it. Well, it's like, I remember, like, so I was in college during, like, the Girls Gone Wild heyday. And they would come to our campus and stuff.
What?
And, they, like, recorded some stuff at, like, Drexel. And, like, I remember, and I never, I don't know, because there were
it's
college.
The worst place.
I know, like, hey, Philly. You're like, ugh, no, you don't want that. But, yeah, I just, like, I remember being like, I'm a different species from this person. And there's no shade, whatever, you do whatever you want. We're different people, that's fine. But I just remember being like, how are we biologically the same? Like, it does not make sense to me. Is that what I could not do that. No. Don't know how to do that. And
no, it's an art that I've learned to respect. I used to be
like kind of shitty about it, and like as I've gotten older, I'm like, no, like I mean, like there's like empowerment and sexuality and stuff, and like that's fine.
Good for you. Yeah.
This whole episode, by the way, we are just unlearning internalized misogyny. Like this, like everything we've talked about, by the way, is like just an unlearning of our social cues and norms.
Straight up, that is like probably the like most embarrassing phase of my life is like how internalized that shit was for me.
Oh, how much I hated women. And like hated girls. I was like, oh, pig, you girls like it's like now I'm like embracing it.
It's
full-fledged.
Oh that is definitely like how much I like tried to disassociate with girl shit. Like how much I pretended not to like Britney Spears is upsetting to me, and it's like now you listen to those songs and you're like, man, I really wish I just let myself have this.
I know. I have friends that are like I have all these memories of like going to those concerts and stuff, and like I love the stuff I went to, but I'm like, man, like I mean, even like I went to a Beyonce show last year and it was fun, but I was also like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. This isn't for me.
No, that's the entire time I went to Coachella last year, and I'm just looking around and I'm like, I'm having fun, but every like hour or so I have a moment where I look around and I'm like, where am I? What is my role here? Why am I here?
Exactly. It's like it's interesting because it's like I don't know if that's it's because it's like I'm a straight woman. I know I'm a cis woman, but there is like another binary that I don't understand of like what that like societal feminine
sure, like the Madonna whore complex. You know, there's like 4 kinds of women you can be, and it's like if you're not one of those 4, like something's wrong with you.
Like, exactly. And it's like that spectrum needs to be expanded more. Because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like the girl that like legitimately likes all the guy stuff, but like, and because it's funny because even at like parties and stuff with like all my girlfriends will just be like talking in a corner about whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm just going to talk to the guys that are here because I can relate to them more, and I'm comfortable here.
Getting older for me has definitely just been more comfortable with like wherever I like. Again, on that whatever spectrum that is of like just the shit you like and being comfortable because. I feel like when you are that kid, everyone's like, it's so cool you march to the beat of your own drum. Like, you just do what you want. That's cool about you. And you're like, that is cool about me. Why do I hate myself? You're just like, why am I deeply uncomfortable with, that is cool. I do like that about myself, but I'm also deeply uncomfortable in the world and with everyone I'm around.
Right.
So.
The backhanded compliment that is, you just really don't care what people think of you.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean, I truly don't think that I do. It's just like hard to be like, okay, what was I doing that people were thinking?
Right.
I'm just living, man.
One of like the most defining, I think, pictures of that period of me, unlike you're probably like Jabba the Hutt leader, the Gungans picture
okay.
is.
His name is boss nass. Okay,
Sarah, I've never seen a Star Wars.
By the way, I'm saying that. I hope to fuck I'm right.
No, I think you're right. It's boss something for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, no,
I'm
that's actually.
pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, you are definitely right.
You look like our band. You look,
Okay, well, I thought I was going to lose some credibility there.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
No, but it was a Halloween. I think that all the girls realized, like,
Yeah.
oh, Halloween's for dressing slutty.
Yeah,
and there's a picture of me, like, about to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Because we were still doing that. It was,
Yep.
like, 7th, 8th grade. And everyone's, like, dressed in their, like, sexy cop uniform. And I am a full SpongeBob. Like, out of the box, a SpongeBob.
Wow. That's
and-
good. You're
Again-
going to have to post that put on the Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
it's,
You've said it now, so we have to post it.
Yeah, no, it's a good one because it is the epitome of like, oh, I don't, and I'm on the edge of the
Yeah.
picture, like awkwardly far away from everyone too.
Yeah,
like,
Bridget, you
I-
still are awkwardly far away from every...
I've never been in the center of a group picture. I don't think I've ever. I'm always on the
No,
edge.
I'm not kidding. We gotta show.
Yeah.
Again, this is gonna be on. It has to be on the Instagram. Like
Yeah.
Bridget is a clean like foot away, like a full 12 inches farther away from everybody else.
I don't like being touched.
Yeah, fair. Totally.
I will say Bridget did launch into a hug with me one time.
Yeah.
Like we agreed on something and she just like full like grabbed me and I thought like she was terminally ill. I was like, what is happening?
What are
right
you about
now?
to tell me? Oh my god.
No, bowls don't go on the bottom of a dishwasher. That's what I agreed about. I felt like a crazy person and I was talking about this.
No, she like fell into my arms like she was shipwrecked, and I like pulled up and like grabbed her from the ocean. It's like, ugh.
Oh my god.
You know, you just need to find. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. You need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
just find your group of people who agree with you
Absolutely.
Yes.
and talk to no one else ever.
Yeah. Well, here, this is an embarrassing thing that's coming, kind of pulls like my
Yeah.
my hate of games with this, like what we're talking about, where like I remember the only time I've ever done one of those like murder mystery, like you're given a character ahead of time.
Oh, no.
things.
Yeah.
It was in like, it was definitely in middle school, like 8th, 9th grade, 8th,
Yeah.
9th, somewhere in there. And I was given the part of like a 70s record producer, and I was like,
That's pretty-
what-
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
Yeah. I was like, oh my.
So you started doing heroin.
Yeah. But and I remember I being like, all right, I'm gonna go all out, and I like was like, cool. I remember like looking at like, okay, so I like drew on chest hair, and I like, had this like one of my
Nice.
dad's 70s shirts, real low, fringy thing over it, and I was like, men have thicker eyebrows, so I give myself like real thick eyebrows, and, like a goatee, and like I was like a hot dude, and I like I rolled up to this party, and like everybody else was just like cute girls, and I was just
Oh.
like, oh, did I do it wrong?
I misread this.
I misread what we were
Yeah.
doing, but then
Yeah.
I was just like dressed like a man at this party, and like was also actively creeping out my friends because I was doing the ladies' man voice. It's like
Right.
the choice that I made.
yeah, you
I
gotta
was like,
stick
oh,
with it.
yeah, I'll be like Tim Meadows all night, and then I was like. Okay, well now I'm just like hitting on my friends and I don't know how to stop, and like I don't want none of us want this to happen.
Right.
You're too deep in the character, though.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
just someone's got to pull you out.
I
You,
For
you
sure have
always
a
have to
photo of
learn
that.
that like
Yeah.
there's always a time, especially if you're a performer, there's a time in your life where you realize like, right, I am ready to commit all
Yes.
the way to
Yeah.
choices that I'm
Yes.
making, and not everybody else does
Yes.
that.
Exactly.
That is a me thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I was like going to ace this murder mystery,
Yeah.
and like it was like, oh, we're all okay. So I'm the performer in the group. Got it. Good to
Got
know.
it.
Good to know. And I wasn't even like a performer. Like I didn't even. I mean, I never did plays or anything like that because
Yeah.
like our like in middle school and high school, like the directors were just stressed me out because they were in everyone's business and who was dating who.
I did not do like theater in middle school. It's a miracle I got in my fucking high school. But like my impression of like every, and not even theater, drama teacher in middle
Just-
school, it's
oh,
just
man,
like
yeah.
tone it way down. Tone it way down here.
It's that improv energy where it's like I can't get out of you.
I feel like every drama teacher is wearing a full face of makeup
Yeah.
at any given moment, and they like maybe were a principal role in something one time.
Yeah, some community
and
theater.
that is the
Yeah.
play that they do every year.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
just want the power to be able to cast themselves again. Yeah,
By the way, I will be teaching drama in 10 years, so I'm just like projecting my future character around here.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
yeah, it's also the worst time to try to tell a kid to act because, there are
You don't even know how to be yourself,
right.
let alone
Exactly,
a
you're
character.
already such like a bundle of nervous energy that doesn't know what to do with their hands, and now you have someone being like, "Now play zip zap zap for an hour and a half."
I can't.
And you don't.
My sister was in drama in middle school, and her drama teacher told them in a play never to turn your back on the audience, like don't look upstage. Which like that's not wrong to say, but as a result, it was like a play where like they had to get the door. It was one of those things that was like, oh, who can that be? And one of those fucking things. And literally, like, I think we have a video of it, but like all the kids would just walk backwards to open the door because like they just like, I don't know if she directed them to do that or if she just said so many times like never turn your back on the audience that like they never turned around. It's like
no one clocked that in a rehearsal.
I saw the play and this was like truly when I was deep into being like I am in theater with an R-E and I was like horrified to see this. I was like, you can turn upstage for like the 2 seconds it takes to like who walks back? Like the whole play was just people walking backwards. It was so bizarre. It's like this looks like shit.
That's insane. I love that.
Yeah, it was like quintessential middle school drama.
Theater,
like
that's
it really.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, we've learned a lot about ourselves and feminism and theater today. And,
and problematic
and Movie Pass.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Tell people what you're up to.
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Branddazzle. My website's brandieposey.com. I'm on the road half the year, basically, so I'm like always out of town doing show dates. If you use the app Bands in Town to follow your favorite bands, I am also on that.
Nice.
So feel free to follow me, and you'll know when I'm coming to your town. I update it pretty religiously. I have a great podcast called Lady to Lady.
Yes.
It's myself, Barbara Gray, and Tess Barker, and we just like riff and bullshit. And it's like has been a very like we are three very different women, and it's been a huge education for me also with everything we've been talking about, just because like Tess especially is like Southern California, bubbly blonde, like huge Britney Spears fan to the point that like her and Barbara have a separate podcast about Britney's Instagram where they might have actually broken the story that whatever. If you the hashtag Free Britney is because of my friends,
Nice.
but they've been really instrumental in like showing me another side of all of this stuff that like Tess is like she's like a comedian, but she's also like a journalist who like has written a bunch of articles about like wage disparity within cheerleaders and professional sports and stuff like that, which is something that I never would have like given a thought or empathy to really, to be like, well, you
bad.
and then you're like, oh no, like that needs to be a part of my feminism too, is like understanding the class element of this. Even if that wouldn't be my choice to go that way, but like they're athletes in their own right as well. So it's like, that we and our show is funny, but it's like, you know, like it's three very different perspectives that have like made me grow definitely as a lady and learn to appreciate it more. Although there are episodes where I'm just like, what are you talking about?
There's some stuff that I'll never get over either.
Like, I don't know what you're saying.
Well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Check that out. You can find us on social media at Rough Stuff Pod.
Yeah.
On all the stuff. I'm on Twitter at Bridgett Tweets.
I'm on Twitter, SK_Griffith. Anything that I do will be there, so just stay tuned, followers.
Hell yeah.
Oh, God.
Right.
I hate that I just said that. I'm sorry. No one follow me.
Okay, you heard the lady. We're out.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you!